Oh look, somewhere to sit. So we sat our asses down here, and the first thing Ronnie said, damn, that's noisy. Is that race mode? And just listen to this now. Race mode, right?
Yeah.
Race mode, medium mode, and with the light on, you know.
I don't know how to describe this sound. But it's like
the sound of racing.
an old faucet or something.
Yeah, exactly.
The current is flowing.
Yeah, the current is flowing. Exactly, definitely, man. Peeing non-stop over here.
Yeah.
So let's switch it to the off-road mode and quiet it down a bit. And you gotta watch out because it's gonna cycle the motor.
All right.
So operating mode, and now I confirm.
Yeah.
And now it's quieter, at least.
Now you can hear mine instead.
Now I can hear yours, yeah. That's something, and you got the light on, and the light on is like,
yeah, it increases the...
Yeah. So now, the X30 is decently quiet.
Yeah.
This is the way it came, the EX30. And then they introduced the current mode with shenanigans. Would you like to take a seat and I can explain the settings to the people? Mm-hmm. Linear mode 4K. Let's go 5K. I cut my hair. It's a bit helmety now. Oh yeah.
Helmet hair.
Helmet hair. Yeah. Didn't have much product in it. So we got these settings. And these settings now. The mode setting, medium. So that's the pedal mode. Alarm setting, as always, turn off the level 2 alarm because we don't want to go beeping at slow speed. Then we have the tilt back speed turn off, right? So what happened is in iOS and for Android, they released different versions with different timing, so they had different naming. But a new version of this was released last night. So now they use the same naming. Now they stopped calling this the rocker.
Yeah. It was confusing.
Yeah, rockabye baby.
Yeah.
So the tilt back speed, which is speed based, that I turn off. And typically us Gotway riders will turn that off because we don't like to be tilted back at X speed, where X speed will be fine at full battery but less fine at lower battery. So we want it to be PWM dependent, which is the load of the wheel. So the power alarm then is set to 70 because I'm being on the conservative side, where I imagine I can still hear it since Darknessbot is broken and I don't really know what I'm doing.
That's the beeps.
Yeah. So the power alarm,
beeps.
the beeps,
Yeah.
exactly. You can set those as low as 50, and at 50%, then the EX30 will do 50 kilometers an hour, 31 miles an hour, because it does 1 for 1.
But that's just the alarm.
That's the alarm, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's just the alarm. So that just means I'm lowering or raising the value of the PWM beeps, which we couldn't do in other wheels, but it started to become a feature with the Master, the M10-4, the T4, the EX30, the Extreme, possibly even the Commander Pro, because the Commander Pro has received the firmware that has a current mode and so on. And now, wait for it, the train's got something to say. Now we got this, after the power alarm, we have the power alarm tilt back on or off.
Mm-hmm.
And that has 2 modes, that's open or close. So mine is open, or open or turn off.
That's confusing. They call it on off, and then you have your option of open and close.
Yeah, or actually
Open and
turn off and open. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah.
So if they call it on off, it would be nice to have it on off.
Yeah.
But typically they will call things open. So the power alarm tilt back is set to open, which means that it's on, and that means that it follows the PWM alarm. Since my power alarm is set at 70, then the wheel will tilt back at 70, and it will tilt back at 70. It is not Freestyler custom firmware that will start to beep and then slowly initiate the creeping tilt back, which will nicely get a bit more linear. Here, it will just... So as soon as you hear a beep, then you know also that you're going to be pretty soon on your heels.
Yeah. That's scary.
It's scary.
At high speed.
It was actually worse for me at low speed. So when I hit 31 miles an hour with the 50% PWM, then it just felt like really, really sudden. But at 60, it felt a bit nicer. But I haven't reached the 70 yet, and I don't dare because I don't have monitoring. So I'll need to do that with Android. So I'll dig out my Android.
Yeah, and the natural reaction when that happens, when you get the harsh tilt back, is to lean back to brake.
Yeah.
But that's not, if you do that, you can lose balance. So what you need to do, you just need to chill.
You just need to chill.
So it will slow down by itself.
Exactly.
But it's like a natural reaction to try to brake.
Yeah.
So,
And it's already tilting you back. So you can't go tilting back twice, right? It's already tilting you back. You can't like go and get on your heels.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, you're already here. What are you going to tilt back into? You know, you're going to fall off.
And that's why it's so scary, because it feels unnatural.
Yeah. But the Freestyler one, I could just surf it.
Yeah.
I could surf it.
That was also very nice. It's
It
like
was,
very gradual, and you can just lean back, it will go down.
Yeah.
And push a bit more.
Yeah.
And so you can keep it like that.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Maybe we can tell Begode
Yeah.
and say, hey, can you
I think
cool
people
it a
have been
bit?
trying.
Yeah. Maybe they can cool it a bit, you know. Then we have the pedal turning angle adjustment. So the pedal turning angle adjustment is when you're riding, the pedal dip when turning. So the lower value will mean more pedal dip when turning. Value in the middle will keep them quite level. And a higher value will actually make them tilt back a bit while you're turning. That's the second time that the Begode app has crashed. Because it's sort of like floating, looking for my device. That's why. So I'm just barely out of range. Then we have horizontal adjustment, and the horizontal adjustment is just now with a value you can set forward tilt and backward tilt on the wheel. And then we have the operating mode. So we have the off-road mode, and then we have the racing mode. The off-road mode, I just keep it in medium all the time, and when I switch to off-road mode, then it's just steady. But when I have it in the medium mode and I have it on the racing mode, then there's squish. So there's quite a lot of squish forward and there's quite a lot of squish backwards, which eats up some of the response and some of the torque, but also it puts your body in a more favorable position and makes the EX30 easier to manage because it's just like such a heavy wheel. Then maximum speed reminder, that's whatever. That's just something that, you know, what is this? I just set mine to 100, can set it to 120, just have it out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't need a maximum speed reminder, you know. Then we have the LED setting. It won't do anything for this wheel because there are no LEDs really. The volume setting I have at 1. So the volume setting at 1 keeps the wheel nice and quiet. And that is for all auxiliary beeps. But one beep will always be loud, and that's the 5 beeps.
Yeah.
But actually, the low battery beeps will still be quiet. So I was riding around on a beeping low battery wheel, and I couldn't hear it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like deet 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 deet, probably for like 10 miles or something like that. Yeah. And then when I got off the wheel and I stopped, and it was on tilt back, and I was just gonna like walk it home the last 3 meters, it was just like really quietly deet deet.
Good thing you were close to home then.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was monitoring the voltage and just trying
but not everyone does that. So
Yeah.
You get those beeps, you're far away from home. You're fucked.
Then they got some new stuff. They got the battery information one, and there's some status being shown there, but it's like more relevant for the extreme.
Yeah.
And then actually another status window here, which will show me where I am, and it will show the status of the Hall sensor, of the MOSFETs, voltage. So it will, now I can see my voltage. You know, otherwise before you couldn't see voltage in the Begode app, you could only see percent.
Okay.
So now I know that I'm at 127.5 volts. Thank goodness. And then the gyro is okay, the lock is okay, and then it will show speed, It will show some speed here. There's nothing going on because I'm disconnecting, reconnecting, so it's
no
losing.
history.
Exactly, no history. So just gone. Then I can upload data, you know. But if you disconnect, reconnect, it just like flushes the session. So now my top speed has been 0 kilometers an hour. It says I'm at 80% battery, which tells me nothing, you know, compared to the volts. And that's that, you know. And the firmware needs to be updated with the Begode app, and it will only present firmware for the wheel that is relevant.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it will show extreme and it will show that, but at least now, if I press the X30, it will say X30. I imagine maybe I can install stupid stuff on the wrong one. There's a category called test here, BMS test, etc. JL1301 la 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 la.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't have to fool around. If you have an EX30, you go into the EX30, and then you just
Before
get.
it was a mess.
It was a
like
mess.
a huge list and different versions. And
And duplicate names and no dip
yeah.
and pedal dip and this dip and extra.
And I wonder about the
extra dip.
Master, since there's different versions of the Master.
Master V1,
Okay.
which is 2014-05,
Yeah.
and then there we go, and I quit again. And then there was the version after that.
Yeah. So the serial and the parallel.
Exactly, the series and the parallel. And it looked like there was something interesting going on here in the Master one. So let's see. For Master, it says for V1, increased power tilt back switch. Not allowed turn on wheel when the wheel is rotating. Well, that's like, yeah. But here on the 2015005, which is the non-V1, there it has added race mode and off-road mode. So it looks like the V1 series connected one, they're out of luck.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then-
it's not compatible.
Extreme Bull, Commander Pro, and Commander Mini added a race mode and an off-road mode. Increased power tilt back switch. Added angle adjustment, added cornering assist acceleration. So again, other names for the things that we just spoke about.
Yeah. I have no clue what increased power tilt back switch means.
That's the scary thing, you know. Increased power tilt back switch. I would say that is PWM tilt back. That's what I would say.
But increased.
They
did
can mean
increase?
that they added it.
Yeah, it's
Most
possible.
likely that they added it.
Yeah.
They increased it. The thing that we didn't have is now
Yeah.
increased.
Well, technically correct.
Yeah.
Increase it from 0.
Yeah. So far, you know, I'm happy with my settings that I have here, and I'm just gonna keep them there. And it's not like since I can't hear the beeps with the TSG on, then I'm like a bit wary. And since I can't set the speed dependent alarm on Darknessbot, then again I become a bit wary because I don't want to smack into the beeps and hit the tilt back. Then I will actually have to do such idiotic
That's
tests.
why I have these or intercom. So
Yeah.
I always try to sync so I get the alarms where the tilt back if I have tilt back.
Exactly. But no Darknessbot,
Yeah.
so no alarms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying blind over here.
Soon trademark.
Soon. Yeah. So hopefully that will help the mysteries, because there's a lot of talk about this firmware on every imaginable forum now, you know, and people are trying to decipher Chinese translated to English, and it's not
Yeah.
always an easy thing.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, today I did some filming with the Insta360. It was like a piece of cake, you know, when riding, you just film and then you can like do everything in post. And then I did some sequences with a GoPro, and then some parts I wanted like wide, and some I wanted extra wide, and some I wanted in hyper view, and then some I wanted a close-up, and some I wanted in 30 FPS, and some in 60, and some in 120. And then you can have horizon lock, or you don't have horizon lock. And then maybe on some of the sections, who knows, we'll get the GPS speed. But basically, I would say like for cruising, just cruising in general, if I'm going to wear the helmet and I'm not going to talk, and I want ambient sounds and so on, and want to make it more like a vlog style, then yeah. Then the GoPro, you know, if like I'm talking into the camera. But still, you can talk into the camera when having an Insta360 as well. You know, Dawn does it, for instance, and she has the GPS, and it works fine. It just, you don't get much ambient sound around. So it's a bit of a, almost like a voiceover actually. It's almost like a voiceover.
The cool thing with the 360 is that you don't miss anything.
Exactly.
You don't have to point it because you can just find it in post.
Yeah.
You capture everything.
You can get all kinds of surprises in post.
Yeah.
Like that police van. I guess the tracker is working.
Yeah.
The tracker that they put on is working, man.
You haven't looked for it.
Yeah.
It's under the seat.
Yeah. I know, man, I know. Jeez. Like when I went to McDonald's a few days ago, 6 cops in there.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, everyone, look, he's here. Everyone, try to look natural.
Order a donut.
Yeah. Exactly. Order donuts. Yeah. So here's some nature. Look at that. Nature is tilted. Is it tilted?
You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape.
Ritual relation, you know how to make. I can
bunny jump. Tiger!
It's over Anakin. I had the long stick.
Yes. Someone drew the short stick, the short straw. So yeah, riding blind, no working Darknessbot. Because of the firmware update, nice and windy also, so you get knocked off the wheel. Crazy, crazy. Oh shit, there's our super tank. .3K, 30 FPS, horizon leveling. Amazing times, man. We'll see how this clip turns out.